Okay, regarding what chapter I'm going to do today, I am going to do your third chapter. Not the first one, not the second one, but the third one. Because, right, first chapter is programming. That's a little tricky chapter where I have to do a lot of questions and that's a very tricky lesson. Okay. Whereas second lesson, I have done enough of free sessions for the second lesson. So I thought of taking up third lesson, the internet and electronic mail, right? That lesson I have not done any free sessions, so I thought to take up that lesson. Okay. So today we'll be doing the third lessons. Anyway, the third lesson is also important for your O-level exam. I hope you all know. Okay. So before I talk about your O-level exam, let me introduce myself first. Some of you all are new here, right? So I'm going to introduce myself first. So my name is Sichata Kabir. I have been teaching ICT for grade 6 to A level for the past 3 years, and this is my fourth year actually, right? So I think the fourth to 2024 is going to be my fourth O level batch, right? They are no, they are like yeah, they are my I started on 2020, so 2024 is my fourth O level batches. Okay, so regarding your O levels, okay, regarding your O levels, when it comes to O levels, grade 10 and 11 both are important. Okay, I hope you all know that grade 10 and 11 both are important. Okay, so from the grade 10, okay, you are getting a definite question from the ninth lesson, as well as you're getting a definite question from the seventh lesson, right? Seventh lesson and ninth lesson, you're getting a definite question, like a part 2 question. And when it comes to grade 11, you are getting a definite question from your first lesson, then your third lesson, then your fourth lesson, fifth lesson, and sixth lesson. Second chapter, okay, second chapter, very rarely you get questions. Maybe you'll get an MCQ question and a part 2 question, which carries around, you know, 4 to 5 marks, right? That's how usually you get the questions from the second chapter, right? Whereas first chapter is a very, very important chapter, which is the programming chapter. You will get marks, okay? The marks you're going to get is going to be around, from the entire paper, roughly around 14 to 15 marks, okay? Roughly around 14 to 15 marks is given from the roughly around 14 to 15 marks is allocated for the first chapter only, right? So regarding this free session, I'll be doing the third chapter. Third now, if there are a few questions like most of you are asking me, teacher, what about the first and second chapter? Won't we do that? We will be doing that. Okay, don't worry. I won't skip any chapters. All the chapters will be covered by October. I'll be done with all the syllabus. Okay. I'll be done with doing past papers with you all. I'll be done with doing the syllabus. And from November onwards, your paper classes will be started. Okay. From November onwards, the grade 11s will have a revision sessions and paper classes. Those will be started. So usually when it comes to my class, just like other classes, I give tute, but okay. But in my tute, I include past paper questions, like classified past paper question, just not that, just past paper question, classified, which means, well, say this is your third lesson, no? So once I'm done with now I'll teach you all these things. What is internet? What is URL? Once I teach about these things, I'll teach you what is domain name, IP address, everything. And then, okay, once I'm done with certain part, we'll be doing past paper questions related to the parts that we did right now. After that, I'll go to the next few. Okay, once we are done with the past paper questions, you have past paper questions in your tune starting from the year 2012 until 2023. 2024 people didn't yet do the paper, no? So once they do, I will include their questions as well. After that, I'll do the next part. Once I'm done with the next part, we'll be doing past paper questions related to that part. That is how usually it happens in my class. Okay. So programming is, it's a kind of a tricky lesson. So when it comes to programming, I focus majorly on somehow making y'all score for the MCQ. part 2, you all can at least skip the question, but MCQ, you can't skip. You have to do that. You have to somehow try to score for it. So I train you all with the part 2 as well as MCQ, but I mainly train you all to do MCQ question. We'll be doing a lot of past paper questions, a lot of provincial paper questions, okay, all those things. So when it comes to provincial paper, teacher, when will we do this provincial paper questions if you ask me? Now, once after a lesson is done, we will have unit test, okay? Once after a lesson is done, we will have unit test, just like your school. We have first term, second term, third term in my class. You can ask some of my students. I think a few of the old students of mine are Yusuf and I think Zain, and there are a few students who are at the moment in the class who are like very old students of mine, right? If you ask them, they'll tell you. I can guarantee you, once you join my class, there'll be an improvement within yourself. You can itself feel it. Because I make you all to do lot of papers. In a way, basically, I'm preparing you all for your exams. So in that case, you don't have to separately sacrifice the time and study or anything. If you do my papers itself, that is more than enough for you all to score a good result. If you're on the level of B, I can guarantee that I can take you to a level of A. If you're in the level of A, if you're in the level of C, I can guarantee to send you to the level of B, right? I can guarantee you that. Okay, I can guarantee you that there'll be an improvement. You will itself feel that there's an improvement because my main focus is on papers. Making sure that you understand the concept, making sure you know how to write the answers, and making sure you know how to do papers. This is what I focus more, right? So this is all about my classes and everything. Is there anything you all want to know? Anything else apart from this you all want to know? You all can ask if so. Anything else? Any questions? Any questions to be asked? And also when it comes to my class, very important interaction is. I'll pinpoint and ask questions from the students. So attentiveness in my class is very, very important. Okay, when it comes now, this is a free session, so I won't be able to point out each and every one, but I'll be pointing out few students. But when it comes to my actual classes, right, I know if I want a question, I'll call maybe Hajara, what is the answer for this question? Yumna, what is the answer for this question? I will ask, pinpoint and ask. When I don't get an answer, I will note that and keep, and I will be, you know, getting your parents involved into this. When I don't get, if you don't give me an answer, that means you are not listening to me. Or maybe you were not in the class. We were doing something else, right? So I make sure that your parents are updated about your progress as well, right? I note everything when it comes to my students, okay? Will we use computers practically? No, you will not use computers practically because you all don't have when it comes to your final O-level exam, you all don't have any practicals to be done. When it comes to grade 10 and 11, it's all about me preparing you for your final exams, which is your O-level. So practicals, there will be less practicals because as you all know, for your O-level exam, you all won't have any practicals to do. I hope you all know that. Right? Okay. Is there anything else you want to ask from me? Anything else? If it's a no, then I can start up with the lesson. Okay, all good. Perfect. Right. So let's start this lesson. So again and again, I'm telling this is your third lesson. Your first lesson is programming. This lesson takes a lot of time, because you all have to understand the concept, you all have to do questions in that and stuff. Second lesson is system development life cycle, a very easy lesson, right? If you can, a very, very easy lesson till I will tell you. Okay. This is your third lesson. Third lesson is all about theoretical stuff. If you know certain concepts, your second lesson and third lesson are somewhat similar. If you know certain concept, you all can do any questions. That's how it goes. Okay. So let's start. Okay, so in this lesson, you're going to learn about what is the internet, what is email, what are the different parts of internet, what can you do in internet, what is involved when it comes to internet. Like you're going to learn about internet and email in depth. That is what you're going to learn in this lesson. Okay, so let's see what is internet. So usually we say, right? Usually we say when they are in your grade 9, in your grade 10, you all have learned when there are two or more computers connected to one another, it forms a computer network. You all know that, right? When there are two or more computers connected to one another, that forms a computer network. Several computer networks, okay, several computer networks creates internet. Lot of computer networks creates internet. So we usually say internet is a medium of communication. That's how we usually say. We usually say internet is a medium of communication. Do you know why we say that? You know why we say internet is a medium of communication? Okay, because there is something like this you have to keep in your head. Very important thing, okay, I'm going to tell, right? So, you're going and accessing websites, you're going and watching movies and listening to songs in the internet, right? So all these movies that you're watching, all these songs that you're listening to, basically whatever you're doing in the internet, obviously you're going for a website. Now you want to know about Wikipedia. Now if you're going and accessing Wikipedia, all these things that you're accessing is stored in a place called www. We call that as the World Wide Web. To access this World Wide Web, to access this World Wide Web only, we need internet. We need a route, okay? We need a medium, a route called the internet if you want to access this World Wide Web. So, internet is a medium of communication. It is basically a route, a medium for you to access the resources in the World Wide Web, right? It is a medium, okay? Internet is a medium to access the resources in the World Wide Web, right? So imagine World Wide Web is like a village, okay? World Wide Web is like a village. To go to this village, you should have internet, right? So in these villages, okay, now I'm going to talk about URL, okay, in these villages, okay, I'm going to talk about URL. In these villages, there are a lot of houses. Houses are basically the websites and web pages that you are accessing, right? So in this village, in this World Wide Web, in this village called World Wide Web, there are a lot of websites and web pages. Now, your house has an address, right? Why do you have an address for your house? To uniquely identify your house, right? You have an address for your house, so you can uniquely identify. In my area, I have an address, 256125, like that. I have an address. Okay, I have a number. I have a kind of address, okay? So basically that is you see uniquely identify my house. Same way in this village called www, every web page that you are accessing has an address, has a unique address. This unique address is only known as URL. So keep in your mind, URL is a unique address given for each and every web page in the internet. So keep in your head, URL is a unique address given for the web pages. Was this clear? Did you all get a picture of what is internet and what is a URL and what is www? Did you all get a picture? Anyone who didn't understand this? Is there anyone who didn't understand this? No, right? I hope everybody understood, right? So if you want, now internet is the road for you to go to this village called www, right? So you can go in different vehicle, car, van, bus. So these vehicles are only web browsers. Web browsers are softwares that you use to access the internet. Example, Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, Mozilla Firefox, Safari, Basically, in your phone, you click on an app to go to internet, right? You click on Google Chrome to go and search something in the internet. You click Safari to go and search something. Basically, what you click in your phone. Okay. Basically, the software that you click in your phone to go to the internet is only known as web browser, right? That is only known as a web browser. So this given over here, okay, you can see something over here, right? This is only a URL. This is only a URL. Okay, this is a URL. So how can you find, okay, teacher, now you are telling this is a URL. Now I'm going to Wikipedia. How can I find the URL? So if you ask me how to find the URL for Wikipedia, if you go just and search, now this is no, right? Here, over here, okay, on the search bar on top, okay, on the search bar, you're getting on top https dot slash slash www.wikipedia.org. This is only a URL. So URL is a unique address. See, now if you go to Wikipedia, this is the address. Now we'll say you're clicking English Talent, the URL changes. Can you see? So for every web page in the internet, you have a unique address called URL. So this is only a URL. So when it comes to the URL, okay, there are different parts. The first is HTTP. HTTP's full form is Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Okay, Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Okay, there are different protocols we use when it comes to the internet. We will learn about that in another few more minutes. Okay, we'll be learning about different protocols in few more minutes. So one of such protocol is only HTTP. HTTP defines a set of rules the web pages has to follow. So the first part of a URL is only HTTP. HTTP is a set of rules that the web pages has to follow. Then the next part of the URL is www. This is the World Wide Web. And this is the domain name. Domain name is basically the name of the website. We usually say domain name is a unique name. Keep that in your head. Okay, keep that in your head. Domain name is a unique name given for the website. URL is a unique address given for the web pages. Domain name is a unique name given for the website. Okay, website. And then these after the domain name, you're getting slash slash cln, right? These are the path and this is the resource. Now for an example, I'll tell you a very good example. You go to Dara's website, okay? You go to Dara's website. Okay, you go to Dara's website and we'll say you want to buy a watch or something. We'll take it as an example. Okay. We'll say you want to buy a watch or whatsoever, which is in the screen. We'll say, okay, we'll say you want to buy this AirPods or whatsoever. Okay. You want to buy this for an example. Okay. Keep this in your head. You want to buy this till and we'll get. Okay. You want to buy this. Now here, if you see on top, you have the URL. This is the URL, right? This is the URL. Okay. Whatever you're getting at the after the last slash sign, we'll say where the last slash line is. Okay, here, whatever you're getting after the last slash line is the resource, basically what you are accessing. Okay, what you are accessing, right? What you are accessing, it's basically the resource. To go to this, to access this resource, you need to go into a folder called products. Inside the folder called products only, this resource is there. So that folder that you're going in to access this resource is only known as path where the resource is located. Did you understand the different parts of the URL? Was this clear or do you have any confusions or doubt? Do you have any confusions or doubt? Any confusions, any doubts from whatever you learned up to now? If you have anything, please ask me. I'm not going to scold or anything like that. If you have a doubt, feel free to ask. Okay? So URL is a unique address given for a web page. URL is a unique address given for a web page. So when it comes to a URL, you have different parts. The first is HTTP. It's a protocol that, okay, protocols are basically set of rules. HTTP is a protocol that web pages has to follow. Then you have www. Okay, www is basically World Wide Web. And this area is known as domain name. Domain name is a unique name given for website. Okay, website. Then the last slash, whatever you're getting after the last slash sign is the resource. To access this resource, you need to go into these folders, right? So those are known as path where the resource is located. Was that clear now? Was that clear now with y'all? Any questions you have? Do you have any questions? Till now, do you have any questions? Okay, now we'll move to the next part about, okay, domain name. So when it comes to a domain name is a unique name given for a website. I already told you that. URL is a unique address given for web pages. A domain name is a unique name given for a website. I already told you this. Okay, I already told you all this. When it comes to a domain name, okay, when it comes to a domain name, when you take over here also, look, it comes as edupub.gov.lk. So there is always a dot separation. So when it comes now here, see, in this URL, the domain name is what? Example.com. In this URL, the domain name is bbc.co.uk. Okay, whatever you're getting after the last dot is known as the top level domain. We call that as a top level domain. The top level domain states to which organization or to which country the particular website belongs to. Now you all take Daraz. How does Daraz website's URL comes? www.daraz.lk. So LK means Lanka, Sri Lanka, right? LK means Sri Lanka. So top level domain will state to which country that website belongs to or to which organization, whether it's a commercial, whether it's educational. Now see, edupub goes as edupub.gov.lk. That means it's a government Sri Lankan website, right? So if you get com means it's a commercial. If you get org, it's a non-profitable. If you get .gov means public. If you get edu, then it .edu, then it is educational. Okay, now some websites, okay, now I think I bought something from some country, and the we'll say it goes, this is the company name, sellsmart.au. AU means it's the Australian website. Okay, that's how it goes. Okay, so top level domain name will be stating to which country or to which organization does the website belong to. Do we have to memorize all this? There's nothing to be memorized. This is common sense. Okay, country level domain is common sense. Once you look at it itself, you have no UK means which country, JP means which country. Organization, when you are, when you're doing questions, you will eventually, this will go to your head. There's nothing to memorize. Okay, there's nothing to memorize. Usually they don't ask you questions to which what is .com, what is edu. They don't ask you question. When we are doing question, you will have an understanding what type of a question you will get till. When we are doing question, you will have an understanding. Okay, right? Then the next thing we are going to talk about is IP address. Okay, regarding domain name, IP address, URL, I'm 1,000 times sure you all will confuse this. So keep this in your head. Keeping this in your head is must. Okay, uniquely. Okay, unique address to identify web page. Okay, to identify web page is only what is URL. Okay, unique name. Okay, unique name given for a website. Okay, website is a domain name. Is a domain name, right? Okay, then you have unique address. Unique address. This is also unique address. Unique address used to, okay, used to identify a computer on the internet. Okay, on the internet is only known as IP address. You all have watched in movies, no? They will tell you we can track that person using the IP address. We can find who did that Telan using this IP address. So what is this IP address? IP address is basically a unique address to given to each and every device on the internet. Now when it comes to my home, using my laptop, using my computer, using my now I have two phones. Using my two phones, everything I'm accessing the internet, right? So how can they uniquely identify that this is my phone, this is my laptop, this is where this laptop is located, this is where this phone is there, and how will they identify it using this IP address? Because all of us are accessing internet when it comes, okay, when it comes to internet, all of us are accessing. So when we do something bad, they must be able to figure out who is doing this, basically which person is doing this Telan. So this is where IP address comes into play. Now if you want to know what is your IP address, what is your phones, or what is your computers, or what is your what is your laptop's IP address, you go into a website called Whoislookup. If you go to Whoislookup, you will be able to find what is your IP address Telan. Okay, sorry, not Whoislookup, it is IP Whoislookup, I think. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, I'm gonna just type my IP address and see. There's a website. Okay, who is something. That's how it comes. Okay, my what is my IP address? Here, this is the one. What is my IP address? Okay, Whoislookup is to find an IP address. Okay, what is my IP address? This is my IP address. So using an IP address, you can find where are they located and which country they are from and what is the internet service provider they are using Telan, right? So IP address is actually an address given to each and every device on the internet. It is actually given by an internet service provider. We call them as ISP. Internet service provider means the company for which you are paying your data charges, the company for your which you are putting data card to use the internet, such as Airtel, Hutch, Dialog, SLT. Those are only internet service providers. So using an IP address, we can find where is this computer, where are they accessing? Okay, where this person whoever is accessing this internet, okay, where are they located, and from where are they using the computer, and etc., right? Using an IP address. So IP address is used to uniquely identify devices on the internet. Okay, so when it comes to IP address, this is how a IP address will look. Okay, there will be four groups. Okay, four groups of numbers. There will be four groups of numbers. Listen very carefully, very important. There will be four groups of numbers. Each group is separated by a dot. In each group, you will have values ranging from 0 to 255. If you're having 0 or if you're having more than 255, that is not a valid IP address. We'll say you have an IP address like this for an example, okay? We'll say you have an IP address like this 192.256.015, something like this you have. Because of this 256, this is not a valid IP address. A valid IP address in each group, you will have numbers ranging from 0 to 255. Was this clear with you all? What is IP address and how to identify a valid IP address and etc.? Was this clear? Okay, right? This is what these things you all have to know. Then we are going to move to the next part. Okay. Client and server. When it comes to your internet works as a client and server architecture. Okay. When it comes to your internet works as a client and server architecture. How can we say this? Says now we'll take you in a computer. You're searching for YouTube. Okay, when you're searching for YouTube, you are actually, okay, YouTube has its own server. Server is also a computer, but that is used to store. Okay, server is also a computer, but a server computer is used to store. Okay, so if you're accessing YouTube, okay, you're basically accessing the YouTube server. Now we'll say you are searching for a video. We'll say you're searching for Squid Game trailer or whatsoever. You using the YouTube, you are actually accessing the YouTube server. So in a YouTube server only all these are stored. So in this scenario, you are accessing a server, so you become the client. Usually, we work on a client-server architecture. Server is where all the resources that you access are stored. Client is the person who is requesting that resource. Okay. So, when it comes to a server client architecture, the information transfers in two ways. Okay, which is download and upload. If you are copying something from the server to your computer, that is download. If you're copying something from the computer to the server, that is upload. Okay. If you're copying something from the server to your computer, that is download. If you're copying something from your computer to the server, that is upload. Okay, that is upload. So when it comes to servers, there are three different types of servers that you'll have to know. Web server, mail server, and DNS server. Web server is only where all the web pages are stored. Mail server is where all the emails. So when it comes to Gmail, Gmail has its own server. Yahoo has its own server. Right? So now when you're accessing emails, your emails are stored somewhere, right? So where are they stored? They are stored in a mail server. Okay, they are stored in a mail server. Okay. So when it comes to DNS, you can ask each other, then what is this DNS server? Okay, understanding DNS server is very important. To understand the DNS server, you need to know how the internet works till now. So it's like this. Okay, for an example, now I am going over here. Okay, I'm going over here and searching my IP address till and I'm searching. Okay, then I'm getting different links now. I'm getting different links. So once I click one of this link, okay, once I click one of this link, okay, it is in the form of URL. Okay, once I click this link, it is in the form of URL. So this URL will be sent to a DNS server. Always remember, always remember, in a web server, all the web pages that you are accessing is stored in the form of IP address. Keep this in your head, okay? In a web server, all the web pages that you are accessing is stored in the form of IP address. So once you go to Google and search, and once you click a link, okay, that comes in the form of URL. So this URL goes into a DNS server. This DNS server translates this URL to a IP address. Then that IP address is taken, okay, then it translates the URL to a IP address. Then that IP address, okay, that IP, the internet, internet will take this IP address, this translated IP address, and go into the web server and search for that IP address. Now we say this is that IP address, Dylan. It will give back, okay, it will give back the HTML web page. After that only on the screen, you are getting your web page. So usually a DNS server is used to translate a URL into a IP address. Did you understand what are the different types of servers and how the internet works, Dylan? Was this clear with you all, or do you all have a confusion with any of the part that I spoke of right now? Any of the part, do you have any questions? Was this clear with you all? Any parts you all have any confusion? Mail server is where the emails are stored. Now you're going to Gmail. Now you're going and seeing in the inbox, there are a lot of, in your Gmail inbox, there are a lot of emails coming. So all these emails are stored in a mail server. Web server is where the web pages are stored. Mail server is where the mail, emails are stored. DNS used to translate URL or domain name to IP address. That's it. This is all what you have to know. Any confusions, any doubts from whatever I explained you all up to now? Anything? Any confusions, any doubts?
No.
Okay, how the internet works again. So there's another question. There's a person asking how the internet. So now you're going to the, now we'll say for an example, you want to access the Dara's website. So what do? You go to the Google and search for Dara's website. So once you search, you're clicking on a link. Now once you're searching the Dara's website, okay? Now this is only Dara's website. You click this link, no? Once you click this link, okay, the link will be in the form of what? In the form of URL. This URL will be sent into DNS server to convert into IP address. Why are we converting this URL to IP address? Because in a web server, listen very carefully, because in a web server, the websites are stored, the web pages are stored in the form of IP address. So once you click that link, it will be a URL. So this URL will be sent to DNS server. DNS server will translate the URL to IP address, right? Then that IP address will be sent to the internet. Then the internet will search for that IP address in the web server and will say this is the IP address then. It will give that web page in the HTML form, and on the screen you are going to get the web page. This is how the internet works. It happens within switch of second. That's how quickly you are getting things. Right? Was that clear? Whoever, I think Aina asked me to explain how the internet works. Was that clear, Aina, how the internet works, Dylan? Any confusions, Aina? URL is a unique address given for a web page. URL is a unique address given for a web page. I already told you all, keep this in your head. Unique address given for a web page is URL. Unique name given for a website is domain name. Unique address used to identify a computer is IP address. These concepts you have to keep in your head. Okay, these concepts you have to keep in your head. Okay, so then we'll move to the next part about internet protocols. This is also very important. If you were to get questions, you will get questions from this area only, mostly. Okay, internet protocols are set of rules. Listen very carefully. Okay, internet protocols are set of rules that are defined by the internet. Okay, now when it comes to your school has certain rules, no, that you have to wear uniform, you can't bring electronic items, for the school you can't bring mobile phones or whatsoever, you have to wear uniform only, you can't wear color dress. There are certain rules, right? The same way internet has certain set of rules for certain things in the internet. So there are a lot of protocols, but in your syllabus, we are only learning about 5 different protocols. The first is HTTP protocol. HTTP is a set of rules that internet uses for the web pages. Like when it comes to a web page should be in the form of HTML only. It should be in the HTML language. A web page there are certain things. Okay, a web page should have a, URL. A web page should be secured. A web page should have, a certificate like that. There are certain signature, certificate. There are certain things. So all those things are only defined by this HTTP. So HTTP is a set of rules that are given for web pages. Then you have TCP/IP. TCP/IP is basically which is used to control how the data is transmitted over the internet. Now, for an example, we'll say there is a computer, okay? There is a computer and there is B computer. For an example, we'll say there is A computer and B computer. Now, this A computer wants to send a hi message, okay? This A computer wants to send a hi message to the B computer. You know how it goes in the internet? Okay, this hi message will be put into a parcel. In that parcel, now I told you, no, every computer in the internet has an IP address, right? So what we will do is how the internet sends these messages, it will put it into a parcel, then it will write the B computer, the receiving computer's IP address and the sending computer's IP address, and then only it will be sending it, right? That it goes, all the messages that you send, we usually say, all the messages that you send goes in the form of packets, okay? All the messages, you know, bits are, binary digits are used when it comes to communication, right? You all know that concept. Computers can only understand binary digits, bits, right? So these bits go in the form of packets, right? So there's a way on how the data, as I told you, how when you send a message called hi, this is how it goes. It will go, you know, they'll send the, it will put the IP address, and they'll put the, you know, sender's IP address, receiver's IP address. You know, that's how the message goes when it comes to the internet. So those types of things are defined by TCP/IP. TCP/IP defines how the data has to be transmitted across the internet. Then the next is FTP. We call this as the file transfer protocol. Okay, FTP or the file transfer protocols defines how the files need to be transferred between computers. Okay, you all know through WhatsApp, you all can't send big files now. You all know that, right? Same way through email. Okay, if you are sending as an attachment, you can send maximum 25 MB only. If your file exceeds more than 25 MB, you can't send it as a, you can't send it as an email. You can't send it as a, keep this in your head, okay? If your file exceeds 25 MB, you can't send it as an email attachment. You have to put it into a drive and only send. So those kinds of things, you can't send, what do you call, via WhatsApp, okay? Via WhatsApp, you can't send movies. You can only send a limited amount of file. The size of the file is very small. Basically, these types of transferring files, okay? Transferring files. And when you're transferring files, there should be a quality met for the files, okay? These, you can't send, that when it comes to your, files, that you can send a PDF, you can send a Word, you can send those things, you can send certain files like MOV and all, certain files you can't send via WhatsApp, certain files you can't send via email. There are certain restrictions, right? So those kind of things are only defined by this FTP. FTP defines how basically it controls it controls how the files get transferred between the computers via the internet. SMTP is Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. It defines a set of rules. Basically a set of rules the emails has to follow. A set of rules the emails has to follow. So when it comes to email, you have to put a recipient's address. You have to put a subject. There's a set of rules, right? When you're sending an email, you have to put the senders. You have to put the receivers. If there are more than 2 people, you put it in CCC. You put it in BCC. Basically, there's a way on how you send an email, right? And when you're sending an email, you can't undo it. Features like that and all is defined by this SMTP. SMTP is a set of rules that emails has to follow. Then the next is ICMP, Internet Control Message. Okay, ICMP, Internet Control Message. Okay. Okay, ICMP, Internet Control Message. Sometimes when you're connecting to Wi-Fi, you're getting an error message. If the Wi-Fi is not connected, you're getting an error message telling that Wi-Fi is not connected. When you're watching YouTube videos buffering, if it's buffering or something, you'll get an error message. You'll know that, right? When your YouTube video is buffering, you'll get an error message telling it's loading till land. The error message when you're on the internet, you get different error message, no? Fail to upload the file, failed to send the file, like that you're getting error message. Those types of error messages are given to you by this ICMP only. Okay, so basically handling error message is only done by this ICMP. Was this clear with y'all about different protocols? Was this clear? Anyone who didn't understand? Anyone has a confusion?
Can you explain HTTP once?
ChatGPT. What?
HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol.
Hypertext Transfer Protocol is a set of rules that the web pages has to follow. When it comes to a web page, okay, if you go to a web page and click on this padlock sign, you can get a lot of information about a web page, okay? It's taking some time to load. Okay, here I go. You get certain information about the websites, like whether this website is using cookies, if it's using any tracking, whether the connection is secure, these kinds of, okay. To obtain these, the web page has to get a certificate, and there are certain rules, right? So those rules are only defined by this HTTP. Okay, HTTP defines a set of rules that the web pages has to follow. Okay, keep that in your head. When you're downloading files from web pages, when you're when you're downloading, when you're downloading something, how to download, those things are all only there in this HTTP. Those things are only defined by this HTTP. Was that clear, Hamad?
Yeah, teacher, understood.
Okay. I hope this is clear with all of you. Now let's do the past paper questions. Okay. First, I'll show you all the question. I'll give you all some time. So I hope question number 1 to 4 is visible for you all, right? Yeah. Question number 1 to 4 is visible for you all. Now it's 9 to, I'll give you all time until 9:10 to do these questions. Quickly do this. Question number 1 to 4. After that, I'll discuss the answer. Okay, quickly do. I'll give you all time until 9:10 to do this question. Quickly do. Okay, I'm going to discuss this, okay? So you all are going to help me tell these answers, okay? You all are going to tell me the answers. A collection of web pages accessible on the internet. Okay, lot of web pages. Any idea what you call a lot of web pages?
Website.
Yes, that is correct. Okay, then next is you have to match. Now I'm going to pinpoint and ask, okay? Please unmute and tell, okay? Tell me the answer, right? So first, translate a web page into, okay, web address, I'm sorry. Translates a web address to a relevant IP address. Azima, tell me what is the answer?
Domain name server.
Okay, correct. DNS server. Then the next is a service of internet. Asma, tell me what is the answer? Is a service of internet. Asma. If you all can't speak, then send it in the chat box at least, huh? Hajara Azim, tell me what is the answer? Is a service of internet. Hajara Azim. No, no. Anyone else who can tell the answer? Yes. www. Yes, very good. Yes, www. World Wide Web is only a service of the internet. Very good. Yes. Uniquely identifies each computer on the internet. Okay, I'll point out. Hold on. Shada, tell me. Uniquely identifies each computer on the internet.
IP address.
Yes, correct. Then Zainab, tell me, separates a username and domain name from email address. Something that you have in the email address. Figure out what are things you have in the email address. Zainab. Okay, Ammar, go ahead. Ammar, tell me. At symbol. Yes. Okay, then the last one is displays formatted web pages. Salman, tell me. Displays formatted web pages. Salman. Which one displays formatted web pages? Web browser. Yes. Correct. I didn't get the answer from Salman. I got it from different people though. Right? So when it comes to my class, okay, you can't be quiet like this, huh? If you're joining my class permanently, because I tell you all early hand, no. Right? I'm telling you all early hand itself. When it comes to my class, you all can't be quiet like that. I will notice once, twice, 3 times. The third time, I'm going to call your parents and be like, I don't know what this person is doing. I don't know whether he's focusing on the class or anything. Better to stick to a physical class than sending him an online. I don't have to give, for me, it's about making sure that you all are studying. It's not about giving fake marketing, I know some teachers, they make papers very difficult for the students so that, the students will think, this teacher is only best. And I am not someone like that. Okay. I make sure, right? I make sure that, you all are getting the knowledge and you all are, what you came for, you're getting that in the best way. Right? So when it comes to my classes, I'm very strict. Okay. I'm friendly. At the same time, I'm strict. Okay. Question number 3. Consider the URL. Write down the protocol service top level domain. Can anyone tell me what is the protocol in the given URL? Anyone?
HTTPS.
HTTP. Okay. Very good. Then which one is a service? You not tell me which is a service?
www. World Wide Web.
www. Okay. Ammar, tell me which is the top level domain? Ammar. Mariam Irfan. Okay, I got an answer. Yes, Mariam, I didn't hear. I saw you unmuting. What is the top level domain? .lk. Yes, that is the top level domain. Right? I hope that was clear. Then the next is DNS server translates blank into blank. What into what? Translates what into what?
A web address into an IP address.
Yes, very good. A URL, basically a web address into an IP address. See, if you know that these are the typical, these are basically O-level paper you're doing, okay? This is the 2012 past paper. This is also all the questions that you did is from 2012. These are 2012. Typically, these are the type of questions you will be getting for your school exam also. This is how you will be getting for your O-level exam also. This, if you know the concept, doing a question is not hard. Right? Nothing hard over here. Okay. So let's try a part 2 question. Let's do MCQ also. But let's go with the part 2 question now. See what are the part 2 questions I can find. Okay, can you try question number 19? No. Wait. 20, 21 and 22. I want you all to do question number 20, 21 and 22. We'll do the others as well. We'll do that as well. I want to try some, tricky questions. 20, 21 and 22. Now it's 9:16. I'll give you all time until 9:30 to do this. Quickly do it. For 2024 O-level batch regarding the seminar, yes, I have an idea to conduct the seminar. That will be done in the month of February. Like when your exams are closer, then it's easy for you all to also know. If I do now, it's actually pointless. But when I do it, when your exams are closer, right, you all will also be, it will be beneficial for you all as well. So when your exams are closer, I have an idea to do both physical and online seminar. Both, not not that both physical and online together, separately only, a physical seminar and an online seminar, but that will be a paid seminar though. Okay, because I have to prepare the resources. So my way of preparing resources is totally different, right? The way I prepare the resources are totally different. I include, questions. I include short notes and stuff. So I charge for the resource, and when it comes to physical, I have to pay for the premises and everything. No, so I charge for that, right? So yes, there'll be a seminar on the month of February. Make sure you are in one of the groups, maybe Satya College groups, or at least in my free session group, so you have an update about this seminar. Okay. I hope you got the number, Zainab. I've shared you the number. Send me a WhatsApp message. I'll add you to the group. For the O-level exam, yes, I'll be doing all the lessons only. Programming lesson, I won't be doing anytime sooner though. Maybe when I'm starting off the lesson, y'all can maybe only pay for the programming lesson and join for it. But if you're asking for the 2024 O-level batch, I already did a separate session for programming. The charge was also very less. I think I charged around 600 something. Okay. The charge was also very less, but I didn't get much of a students. There were only around 5-6 students. Okay, because I think I kept it in the afternoon hours or something, early morning hours, or there was another seminar also. There was another seminar happening and stuff, so most of them were not there. I kept it for a very less fees, but I had very less students. So for 2024, if I were to do, I'll do a final seminar only. I won't be doing programming till then. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna discuss. Nice. Okay. Identifies a computer uniquely on the internet. Anyone who can tell me the answer for this? P.
IP address.
Yes, correct. Connects a web page to another web page. That is known as hyperlink. This you will learn in your fifth. Always remember your third lesson, your grade 11 third lesson and fifth lesson has a connection to one another. Okay. Fifth lesson is about web designing and stuff. Third lesson is about internet. So there's a connection. When you get questions also, you get questions together only. Okay. Converts a domain name into IP address. Fazla, tell me. Which converts a domain name into IP address?
DNS.
Yes, Aisha, go ahead.
DNS.
DNS server, yes. Used for communication between web server and web browser. Any idea? What is that, Ellen? Yes, that is the HTTP. HTTP is only used for communication between web server and web browser. Which of the following is a correct example for IP protocol? I want, hold on, I'll come with the person. Zambra to answer me. Which one is a correct example for internet protocol? Zambra, Shihan, tell me the answer. A, B, C, D, which one? Can you tell me the answer?
C.
Sorry? I didn't hear, darling.
C.
C. I
Sorry,
told
B.
you. B. Okay, yes, B is the answer because here there should be 4 groups, but here there are 3 groups. No, so obviously this is not the answer. Here there are more than 4 groups. This is also not the answer. Here there are 4 groups, but one of the group is having the number as 256. So this is also not the answer. Next one, which of the following correctly identifies A, B, and C? A is actually what? It's the protocol. B is the domain name and C is the top level domain. So the answer is for the 22nd one is C. Okay. Then can you all try doing question number 26 and 27? No, 25, 26, 27. 25, 26, 27. I'll give you all time until 9:40. Quickly do this. Okay, I'm going to discuss this now. Which of the following is the correct IP address? Question number 25.
B.
P, yes. Then you're going to match them. What is P? Used for communication between web server and web client. Remember, you did something similar in the 2012 paper. Again, after 10 years, the same question is repeating. Can you see that? There's always a repetition happening. What you saw in 2012, again after 10 years, it is repeating. That is actually HTTP. Used to uniquely identify a web page, that is URL. Used to uniquely identify a computer on the internet is IP address. Used to transfer emails between two mail servers is SMTP, right? Then question number 27. A protocol for email, electronic transmission. What is the protocol you use for electronic transmission?
SMTP.
Yes. A protocol used to transmit web pages over the internet?
HTTP.
HTTP.
Yes. A unique identifier for device on the internet?
IP.
IP address.
IP address. Very good. The address of a specific web page?
URL.
URL. See, very easy, right? It's nothing hard or nothing difficult in this. Same thing only you are getting again and again and again and again. They're questioning you, right? Okay, so I'll be only taking a 1.5 hours class because it's a free session, right? So just to give you this thing. So from next week, it's going to be a paid session. I hope you all know how much is the fee and stuff. It's monthly 1,600. You have weekly 1 classes, 2 hours of class, right? So as you know, we'll be doing papers and stuff. It's not on Tuesday, it's on Wednesdays. Wednesdays, 8 to 10 o'clock. No, nothing is happening on Tuesdays. I hope you all got the new timetable, right? I assume Satya College people would have given you the new timetable. It's on Wednesdays, not on Tuesdays. Grade 11 is on Wednesdays, 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock. If you have not got the timetable, let me, okay, I'll share it to all these pre-session groups. If you are in any of these groups, okay? I'm not sharing it to Satya College group. I'm sharing it to the groups whichever mine, okay? If you have my number, I'm adding it to my status also. If not, you all can drop me a WhatsApp message. I'll share you it, right? It's on Wednesdays, okay? Wednesdays, 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock. The same time which we did today, 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock. We'll be doing past papers, we'll be doing provincial papers. I'll make sure that you all practice enough of question. Whoever was with me from the beginning, you all know how much I put effort on making sure that you all do, a lot of papers for you to prepare for your exams, right? You all know that already, okay? So yeah, this is what I have to tell about. And there's also physical classes happening. You have both physical and online. Physicals happens in Vallampitia, whereas online, yes. Okay, regarding the payment, Amina, drop me a WhatsApp message, please. Okay, I want you, you drop me a WhatsApp message, I'll tell you, okay, regarding the fees, okay? The fees is 1,600, but if you have any, what do you call, any issues, personal financial issues, you can drop me a WhatsApp message, right? And I'll speak to you on that behalf, right? Okay, so yeah, that's it. Then we can wind up for the day. We'll meet again next class. I'm hoping most of you all will be joining for the paid session from next week. We'll meet again next class then. Okay, bye. Amina, ask her to drop me a message, okay? You just ask her to drop me a message. I'll speak to her, okay?